Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm gonna need you to throw the whole friend away. Throw him away. To the bin with you, darling. She's literally gonna start a fight.
I think you should probably skip the meal.
Story time. My friend stole/robbed some money from me.
Oh, fun.
Now, to make things easier for this story time, we're going to call this girl Sally.
Sally.
In fact, we're going to call her Sneaky Sally.
Sneaky Sally!
Now, this girl wasn't like a close friend. She was sort of like a friend of a friend. And we had hung out a few times like in our group. And she seemed cool, whatever. And this particular night, we were going out. Don't remember where. This was back when I was in uni, which was like over 10 years ago. And yeah, we were all going out somewhere to an event and she was there. And can you imagine that when we were all getting ready to go out, this girl offered to do my lashes? Like, everything was good vibes. We were vibing, all sweet, nice, whatever. So we all went out and we all got drunk. I won't say drunk, but we got quite like tipsy or whatever. And after we'd finished on our night out, obviously it was early hours. What do you do when you are drunk/tipsy? You want to go and eat food, right? So that's what we did.
Yes.
We went to a Tesco's. So yeah, we picked up the items that we wanted. We went to the self-checkout. I went to my till. Everyone else went to their own till. Also, I thought. And then I paid for my items with my card. Anyway, we ended up going back to one of my friend's house afterwards because we all still wanted to chill. And we ended up playing games, chilling or whatever. And it was super late at this point. So like about 3 to 4 of us, can't remember how many, but it was about 4 of us, let's say. We went to one of the bedrooms. We were up all night talking whatever, as you do when you're at uni. And we ended up like conking out. Like, we all fell asleep. And from what I remember, Sneaky Sally was sleeping on the floor. And there was like 3 of us on the bed. Or maybe 2 of us on the bed, 2 on the floor. But I know Sneaky Sally was on the floor. Morning/early afternoon, obviously I was fucking hungover, and when I woke up I noticed that Sneaky Sally wasn't there. So she had left before any of us had woken up. Everyone else was still in the room. I think 2 of the girls were still sleeping, 1 of the girls was awake, but she had basically left. She was the only one that had left the room. She hadn't said nothing to anyone, but she had left the room. And me being the girl that I am, when I wake up, like, the first thing I want to do is jump in the shower. And I have a thing about like taking the shower at other people's houses, like unless it's close family. So I want to just get my things and go home and shower. And I noticed as I'm leaving that not only has Sneaky Sally just left the room, she's actually left the whole house. Like, she's not in the house at all. She's just gone. So obviously, what do I care? I want to get home. I want to change my clothes. I want to shower. So that's what I'm doing. I get in my car and I'm driving home. And as I'm driving back home, I noticed my petrol is quite low. So I stop at a petrol station that was literally just up the road from where I was staying. So I put the petrol in, as you do, not thinking anything of it. And then I go into the petrol station. Now, when I get to the front of the queue, the guy's like, oh, it's X amount of money. Can't remember how much I put in. And then I'm going in my bag looking for my card. Now, this is where I realised there was a problem. But I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. I just noticed that my card wasn't there. I started panicking because that's never happened to me before. I'm at a petrol station. I don't have no money on me. And this guy's asking me to pay, thinking I'm here like a thief. I literally had to call one of my friends to like help me make the payment like over the counter. Like, it was a whole hot mess. Anyway, so one of my friends obviously helps me make the payment like over the phone. Like, it was a whole fiasco.
Oh, embarrassing.
And when I come out of the petrol station, I'm literally asking my friend, can you please check like if I've left my bank card, because this never happens to me. Like, I never misplace and lose things, especially not when it comes to my money. Like, I always know where my is. I even start second guessing myself because obviously I'd been drinking the night before, thinking like, did I take it out? Did I leave it in the shop? Did I leave it here? Did I leave it there? So I'm literally thinking like, what's happened to my card? Like, honestly, where the hell is it? Now, I don't know why, I think this was God, but something told me to just check my online banking, to check my bank account. So I go on my phone and I look in my account. Please tell me why £300 cash was withdrawn from my account that morning.
Wow. What? Wasted no time.
And it obviously was not me because I was conked out, drunk from the night before, lying in my friend's bed. So I'm there thinking, how has someone been able to take £300 cash out of my account? Like, How? Like,
How did
what's
they know
going
your
on?
PIN?
So I immediately called the bank to tell them that my card's been stolen and I think someone's done some fraud on my account, but I don't really know how they've been able to do it. Like, how have they been able to take cash out of my account?
Period. Like, how
So
you
they
need a
froze
PIN.
the card so that like no more money could be taken out. And they said because it's a fraud investigation that they'll refund the money straight away. And obviously, as long as it is fraud, they'll make sure I won't have to.
Okay,
like,
that's
obviously send
good.
me money back. And they tell me the name of the cash point and where it is. And that cash point was located on my uni campus. So at this point, I'm starting to question like, who could have my bank card that has gone like had easy access to the uni campus like that morning?
But we all know who.
Withdraw £300 from my bank account. So at this point, I start putting two and two together in my brain from the night before, piecing it all together. My bank at this point tell me that I need to go and like raise this with the police so they can investigate, so that obviously I don't have to send the money back that they've replaced in my account. So I'm calling up the police. They're getting me to file a statement. They're saying that they're going to get the CCTV cameras that have there was a camera that shows you who uses that cash point.
Ooh.
And once they get that recording or video footage back, then they're going to get back to me to come in and see if I can identify the person. Now, I know it was Sneaky Sally at this point.
Of course it was.
She was standing behind me when we were at the Tesco's.
Good
and I was paying
point.
with my card. She decided to be the only one, I think, that was sleeping on the floor.
She totally slept on the floor to just like wait for you guys to go to bed and then be able to leave without disturbing anybody. If she was in the bed with you guys, you would have felt her get up. You would have heard the rustling and the stealing of the debit card and all of that. She was planning that the whole time. And yeah, she totally like watched you put in your PIN.
She was the only one that left the room in the early hours and didn't say anything to anyone. And all of a sudden, my bank card's missing. Now, the police are telling me I have to wait like about a week before they can get the footage and I can come in. That was the longest week of my life. I've got my mutual friend who knew Sneaky Sally to call her up and ask her if she took my card. She's acting like she has no clue what we're talking about. And no, I haven't taken no money, blah, 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 blah. All that, yeah? I literally had no proof at this point. So all I could do was wait for the police to call me back. When they called me in, they showed me the CCTV footage and I knew it was her, but the quality was so bad that you couldn't fully see the face, but I could see from the body shape, from the height, from the skin color, from what she was wearing. I knew it was her, but I had no proof because I couldn't say 100% I knew it was her face.
So, but then you just literally say like, by the way, I have you on camera. Just make her think that you know, and then she'll buckle, right?
Because they were also wearing a headscarf. Like, they sort of covered themselves up like they were trying to disguise themselves a little bit. So the police basically said I can either continue on, but they basically made it seem like it's a long process, like it's not worth it because I've already got my money back from the bank, so I should just sort of let it go. But it's about the principle. The girl
Period.
took money out of my account. And please note, she would have taken more out of my account if she could, because I had a limit on my account for how much money can be withdrawn in a day. So if I hadn't blocked my account that day, she would have gone and taken another £300 out the following day and probably continued until she could have taken as much out of my account as she could.
And not just that, like if she gets away with this, who's to say that she wouldn't keep doing it to other people, Like, yeah, okay, she gets away with it this one time and like you don't have to go through the legal process, but like she's gonna maintain that she didn't do anything and then you guys are gonna keep hanging out with her, and believe me when I say it's gonna keep going missing.
To this day, I have no clue how she found out my PIN number. I feel like she was watching me when
She was watching you.
My PIN number in at the Tesco. The police were useless in that situation. And she basically got away with it because it was my word against hers, and I had no solid evidence that it was her.
Dude, listen, you kind of did have proof. You should have gone to her and been like, so, like, is there anything that you want to tell me about what happened to my money? Yeah, because I actually was speaking to the police and they were able to get the CCTV footage. That's it. That's all you say. And believe me, she will admit it. You're a little klepto, eh? She's a nice little klepto of a friend. Best friend tries to get with married man. Ooh, juicy. Juicy. What a juicy little peach this one is.
Now, just a little backstory. Me and my ex-best friend were out about a year and a half ago. I'm talking the middle of 2022 at a very, very popular hookah lounge in Dearborn Heights. This very handsome guy, I'm not gonna lie, he's a handsome man. This very handsome man came up to my ex-best friend, asked her for her number, and got her information. Now, mind you, I am not making any excuses for her, but she did not know he was married in the beginning. And pay attention to in the beginning, because that's very important. Now, she fell head over heels for this man very quickly. But he would always disappear after 10 o'clock. She would call him. She would text him. She didn't know where he lived. She didn't have a lot of information on him. So me and her started doing some digging of our own. So if you know anything about me at all, you know that I can find pretty much anything on anyone. So about 6 months into their relationship, I did some digging on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any website that I could possibly think of. And I found out that he's married. So being the girl's girl that I am, I went and I told my ex-best friend. And she did not give a Her exact reply was, well, I bet I can take him away from her.
Stop!
Excuse me? Now, being that she was my best friend of 6, almost 7 years, I thought eventually she's going to come to her senses. So another 6 months goes by. And now he's planning on leaving you. He wants to leave you and get engaged to my ex best friend. That home wrecking. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, oh my God, where's your loyalty to your best friend? My loyalty lies with the woman that's getting her home wrecked. Not the home wrecker. Because God knows I tried. I talked to her. I told her it was wrong. I told her he's never going to leave his family for you. Now, exactly a year and a half into their relationship, he's planning to do exactly that. He's planning to divorce you, leave your 2 kids, and go run away on some cozy island with that bitch. And I will be damned if I let that happen, because you guys know I do not stand for that. Tariq has absolutely no information, his Facebook, on his Instagram, on his LinkedIn, anywhere. I have absolutely no contact with my ex-best friend because I don't want any of that nasty that she's doing in my life.
Girl. Like, it's one thing if she didn't know. It's an entirely different thing that she did know. Cause like, I wouldn't want to be friends with a man stealer. Like, ain't no way. Like, yes, we blame the man. Obviously, we blame the man. He's the one that has the wife and the kids, etc., etc. But like, you can only blame the man to a certain point. If her instant reaction to finding out that the guy that she liked was married wasn't,
oh, I have to stop seeing him immediately, like blocked.
what is wrong with you? What is the matter with you? Have some decorum. That is not demure or mindful at all. This is like the one time, like one of the very few instances in which the mistress got the man. The mistress that she won. But she didn't win much, did she? She won a guy that was willing to cheat. And what do I always say on this channel? You lose him how you got him. How can you honestly start a relationship like that? Like, knowing that this man is willing to cheat on his wife, ruin his family, to be with you. What does that say about him? It doesn't say a lot. It doesn't say a lot of good things. I'm just saying that is not what I would call someone with morals. That sounds like someone who doesn't have a conscience, and believe it or not, it's gonna happen to you too. Mark my words. Get ready with me, my whole friend group hates me. Yay, love these.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys why my whole entire friend group hates me right now. When I tell you guys this is only their perspective, I don't understand it at all. First of all, my best friend, I'm not going to say any names because they know who they are, accused me of flirting with her boyfriend. Like, no thanks. Her only reasoning for saying this is because she saw him send me a text that said, "You looked beautiful the other day." Like, I'm sorry, that is not flirting, that's a fact. I would be questioning if someone didn't tell me that. So after that happened, my other friend jumped in and was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't want to tell me you helped my boyfriend study the other night?" Like, girls, since when do we not trust other girls to be alone with their boyfriends? Also, I want to mention, these boys approached me. I did not approach them. Like, why are you mad at me? Like, I'm sorry your man's cheeks look like this whenever I'm around, but that's not my fault. I know you guys, like, this doesn't make any sense why they're mad so far, right? Well,
Is this rage bait?
So let's move on to my other friend. Or should I say acquaintance? Anyways, my dad let me choose 2 people to go to Bora Bora on our private plane. And I've only met this girl one time, and she was so mad that I didn't choose her. Like, my gosh, I knew you just wanted to be friends with me because my dad's rich. Don't worry, I saved the best and most crazy one for last. Me and my final friend went shopping the other day to find something for us to wear to her birthday. She ends up finding this super cute dress, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally need to get that. So I end up telling her that it's not flattering on her at all, and I would look way better in it. Like, I'm being honest. Isn't that what a friend's supposed to do? Anyways, I end up buying the dress and wearing it, and she hasn't talked to me in over a week.
This is rage bait, right? You're rage baiting me? It's working. It's definitely working. It's not my fault your boyfriend's texting me. I mean, it isn't your fault that the boyfriends are texting you. Or is it? Wait. Oh, the Delulu is strong with this one. It's not even the boyfriend's texting that makes me mad. It's the dress. It's the dress. Like, that is the most triggering part for me. Imagine you really, really like this dress and your friend tells you you look like in it, and you like listen to their advice, obviously, because they're your friend and you don't want to look like shit. And then they go and they buy the dress and they wear it around like, oh, absolutely not. No, friendship ending behavior. Okay, guys, I'm pretty sure this is rage bait. I hope it's rage bait. One can never tell sometimes. Best friend tries to make out with my crush.
I thought I can get away with talking about this, but since you asked, I'm gonna tell you because I love you. So in part 1, I talked about my diabolical summer from hell. And it all started when I reconnected with a man. So basically, this is the morning after I had a date with a guy who I hadn't seen in 2 years. So we had just had a date, and I realized like, ooh, like I may have a crush on him. I'm stressing. I'm like, oh my God, no. I have a crush on this guy. And I'm stressing about that. And then I'm stressing the fact that I'm stressing. And then also, this was like my 3rd night of getting no sleep. Because I was like, I'd been going out a lot. So basically where I left off was waking up and getting a text from Crush being like, hey, you know, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, my best friend is in town for her graduation. He's like, all right, let's go out to the club where I have investment in. And I'm like, okay, daddy. Daddy says. Yeah. So I'm out celebrating with my best friend and a few other of my friends and her friends. And we're all like together at dinner. And then it all starts going to and I'm like, oh, why tonight? Why tonight? I'm drinking my wine. I'm like, let me get a little buzz going so I'm not going to be nervous, you know. So basically, my best friend starts getting like, she starts getting blacked out drunk. She has no boundaries when she's sober. When she's drunk, all bets are off. She's a menace. And my friends don't know how to react to her because she's like throwing out jokes out there that are just like, that would normally land, but because she's super drunk, she's just like throwing out there and like they don't get it. So they're just like, oh. They're like, she hates you. I'm like, no, the whole thing is such a mess. Like it's not a vibe. No one is vibing at that table. So the night gets progressively worse. We go to the next place. My best friend pisses off all the bouncers because, you know, she's that girl. So she gets in anywhere she wants, like anywhere she wants, period. But when she's drunk, she gets aggressive and they don't like that. So obviously we're not getting in. And around this time, my friends start leaving one by one. Her friends start leaving one by one because they're getting annoyed. And so I'm like, oh, great. So now I'm stuck with best friend her day, who's a wallflower, who's literally the biggest I've ever met. He's literally just standing there, not saying anything, and like, why are you here? Anyways, my day comes and I'm like, hey. And then my friend starts doing this thing that she does where she gets like super aggressive and like gets in people's faces, and that's like her way of flirting. He's literally inches away from my crush's face, like blowing in his face and like all close and like, Literally, she would have made out with him right there and then. Like, I finally have a crush on a guy. Like, why are you doing this to me? I am just like, how do I handle the situation? Because she's still my best friend. Like, I don't want to be like pulling her off him.
No, you absolutely need to be pulling her off him and throwing her in the bin. Listen, okay, I've got a friend that's like, I've been friends with her for so long. When she's like 2 sips of wine in, or like a couple glasses in, I'll give her a couple glasses, okay? When she's 2 glasses in, she is the most fun. I adore her. Like, she's one of the funniest people I've ever met. I wrote a character about her in the show that I wrote. So, adore her. But she can be kind of off-putting, and she can say things that are like,
Babes, like, why do you need to dig yourself out of this hole now? Like, you should have just not said that to begin with.
and like, I know she has good intentions, but she says things that are like kind of inappropriate that upset people, and it results in people like not liking her as much, which I also understand. When she comes to visit me, I don't like bring other people around her. Like, it's like a me and her kind of thing. And also when she gets like super, super wasted, I feel almost like the need to like explain to everyone and just like, apologize to everyone and stuff like that. And listen, I adore her, but it's just one of those things that's like, unless she's like 2 glasses of wine in, I just like, small doses. Certainly not. Can you be friends with someone who openly tries to like get someone that you're interested in front of you or at all? The fact that the people you were with were like, she's not your friend, and then she also tries to go and like make out with a guy you like. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think like based on how you're telling the story, like I feel like they're right. Just saying.
Like, obviously my friend comes first, but like she's out of line. Like you
didn't come first for her.
Menace and being completely crazy. And I don't know what to do in the situation because the guy doesn't know me well. Like, I don't know what the to do. This would also be a great time for my best friend's date instead of like staring like. And so eventually I'm just like, hey, can you stop? Can you like maybe go over there? And, it was obviously the right thing to do, but I feel really uncomfortable. Like, I get in my head about it. Yeah. Like, I am not feeling the night anymore. Like, I'm really bothered. I'm annoyed. I'm angry. I'm pissed off.
I would be too.
I start just shutting down. I'm like, this sucks, So the next stop is his place. My best friend does not want to go home. She is on one. She just will not stop. She will not stop. So she starts like spilling wine everywhere at his place. Crush is like, running after her, cleaning up, being really, really, really sweet and nice. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, why? I like you even more now. Like, stop. So like, I'm like, hey, can you and me just go to the club? Because this is not working.
Ditch her.
Like, she needs to go home. And he's like, starts getting really, really nervous about it. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I have to work the door for a little bit. It's going to take me like 20, 30 minutes. I don't want to leave you alone. And I'm like, oh no, I guess they have to come. Yeah, so I end up having to bring best friend Banshee and
Banshee
to that club. And Banshee, best friend, starts getting more up. And I'm like,
how does she even get in?
She's literally going to start a fight. We need to go.
Maybe I'm just old, but like, if you as a friend have gotten a reputation for being the one that always like either cries or gets in fights or can't handle their liquor, you are a liability. Like, at my big age, I don't want to be hanging out with someone that publicly embarrasses me or themselves. Everybody's allowed a drunk night every now and again. If it's your bachelorette or your birthday, like whatever, it happens. Like, we'll take care. Because I'm that person, by the way. I am the mom that has to take care of people. If it ends up being a thing where every time you get drunk, you do, like, someone has to take care of you, it's a no. It's a no. So let me see here. Okay, so your friend gets violently drunk, tries to fight people. Your friend tries to make out with people. She gets in people's faces. She also makes people very uncomfortable, and they can see that she's not your friend. Why are you still friends with this person? I'm sorry. I don't like it. I'm good.
All right, so here is a story time about my ex-best friend.
Okay.
We're gonna call her Hydrant. I met Hydrant at a job that we both used to work at, and we clicked right off the rip. We are very opposite of each other, so she was definitely the yin to my yang, but we just got along so well. And I know they say like, oh, opposites attract. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but this was an actual yeah. We had no issues. We were friends for 4 years. And not once did we ever butt heads, not once did we ever fight. She hated confrontation, so she would avoid it at all costs. Depending on the situation, confrontation, maybe.
With people who really don't like confrontation, it's actually very common. I also don't like confrontation. That's fine as long as the confrontation isn't between the two of you. Like if it's other people, it's whatever. But if it comes to a point where you are having to tell your friend something that made you uncomfortable or upset you, and they don't like confrontation, it's a recipe for disaster. Let me just move my beauty light. Give a little brightness to my face. Okay.
So when I was in California, she was there for me throughout everything. When my phone was shut off because we didn't have enough money to pay the phone bill, she was like, you come home I'll put you on my phone plan until you're able to like get yourself together and get on your own phone plan. When I called her and told her that I needed to come home, she offered to buy me a bus ticket to take a bus all the way across country back home. She was a very good friend, and that's one thing I'll always say about her. She was a great friend until she wasn't. So when I moved back from California, she picked me up from the airport, took me to my parents' house, and we all had a meeting at my parents' table, and my mom was like, you are not gonna talk to your ex anymore, and if you decide that you want to talk to your ex, you have nowhere to stay.
Oh.
That's how much my mom hated
Oh,
him.
period.
My mom was like, hydrant if you want to live with Ashley in the house, because we had a house that my mom was gonna let me live in with Ashley. I'll do it rent-free for a few months, and then once you guys get your together, then we can come up with a payment plan. So boom, she moves in, and I was so happy because I love her. She helped me get through the toughest times of my life. She had me on her phone plan. Like, she was such a good friend. I needed a job, obviously, so she ended up getting me a job. And the job that we had, there were 3 separate locations. So I worked at the location that was closest to the house, which was like 15 minutes away, and she worked at one of the further away ones, which is about 40 minutes away from the house. So I would notice, like, you know, I'm getting ready. I left the house at maybe 8:30 to get there by 9, maybe a little before 9. She would also leave the house at 8:30 to drive 40 minutes away, plus whatever traffic is in the way. Slowly, I was starting to notice, like, damn, like, I don't know how you saw the job, honestly, but whatever. We would go grocery shopping together, and it was like, everything was pretty much fair game. But if there was something that she bought specifically for her, I would ask if I want it, and I would assume that would go vice versa. So at the time, I was 21, she was 20, so she couldn't buy alcohol. And one day, I bought a 24-pack of Seagrams. I know, don't judge me, I was 21. A 24-pack, unopened, it was just still in the fridge. And April Fool's Day, we're at work, she calls me, and she was like, I just got fired. And I was like, April Fool's. She was like, no, I really just got fired. I was like, first of all, that's ruthless to fire someone on April Fool's Day, because I'm sure she thought it was a joke too.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why did you get fired? And she was like, because he said I would always get to work late. And I was like, okay, but that's kind of
Yeah.
I was like, I'm really sorry, you know, just take the day, relax, like, I'll see you when I get home. So I come home, and I open up mail, and then I go to throw it in the trash can. So when I opened up the trash can, there were 24 bottles, empty bottles of Seagrams. This drank my whole 24-pack. And I go and knock on her door. She's asleep, obviously. This drank my 24-pack of Seagrams. Not 1, not 2, maybe 3. 24! I think I'm more upset that she drank all of them. Like, if she would have drank 1, 2, 3 and didn't ask me about it, okay, no big deal. Like, I understand you just got fired. But to drink all 24 and not even ask or say anything, that low-key kind of off.
It would piss me off too. I think it goes without saying that when you're like roommates with someone, you know, it's okay to have like a little bit of the milk or a little bit of the peanut butter. Girl, I had this one roommate. I liked peanut butter, okay? I liked peanut butter, but I was like okay with peanut butter. Like, it wasn't something that I was like super addicted to. Like, I just liked a little peanut butter on toast for breakfast or whatever. It was like a poor man's breakfast, right? Like, cheap, protein, kind of fattening, but that's okay. It was a good snacky. I like my snackies. Oh my God, and peanut butter and jelly is like my kryptonite. I love that. My roommate had a fixation. And when I say fixation, I mean she could not have 1 spoon of peanut butter. She had to eat the whole jar. So her solution was that she never bought peanut butter and had it in the house because she could not be around peanut butter without eating all of it. But this was not good for me because I liked peanut butter and I had, you know, like self-control. And so I would buy peanut butter for myself until I would come home and I would look for my peanut butter and the whole jar was gone. Like, it was empty, okay? And I'm like, Bessie, like, did you eat my peanut butter? And she's like, yeah. Okay, would you mind replacing my peanut butter? No. I'm sorry, what? Sorry, you ate my whole jar of peanut butter and now you're not gonna replace, why?
Because I can't have it in the house.
Okay, so your solution is to eat all of my peanut butter. Okay, got it. Safe to say we ended that roommate relationship. It's a small thing, but it's such like an inconsiderate, stupid thing that's like, don't you know how to human? Like you take someone's stuff, you take someone's food, you either ask or replace it before they notice. And certainly, if they ask you to replace it, you do it.
I let it go. It me off, but I let it go.
Yeah, you do. You do let it go. It's not that big of a
She
deal.
wasn't even looking for a new job. She was just sitting there because she'd have to pay rent. We didn't have to pay rent yet. And then she got upset at me that I still wanted to work for the company.
Oh.
I'm not showing up late to work. I have bills to pay. I have a phone bill that I have to pay you for. We're just little things. Like I said, we have never argued or fought. Our 4 years of being friendship, when they tell you don't live with your best friend, don't.
That part. I don't understand the like, oh, well.
You're not loyal to me unless you quit your job too.
That would be one thing if like, let's say they were fired, like wrongful termination or something like that. Like something really terrible happened at work and then they got fired. But she was late. Like that's her fault. So a little controlling she is.
Then I would start to notice like, there would always be dirty dishes in the sink. But the dishwasher was clean. She wouldn't empty the dishwasher. She would just put the dirty dishes in the sink and leave them there. And then when the trash got full, she would just leave the old trash bag in the trash can and start a new one and just put it next to it when we have a trash can outside for the full bag.
Dude, it doesn't make sense, but the fact that this is so unbelievably common. I had a roommate once that like, instead of doing dishes, she would let the dishes pile up, by the way, and I would do it out of spite. It's like, I'm not doing the dishes again. It is your turn to do the dishes. She would bring people over, blame the dishes on me, her fault, and then instead of doing the dishes, she would throw them away. Make it make sense.
Slowly, her boyfriend started staying over.
Ooh.
And that's fine. I ended up in a new relationship. He would stay over when he wasn't in school.
I mean, she's also not paying rent, though.
I let it go. But then it started becoming a constant.
Yeah.
Constant. Like, everyday thing. Monday, I go to work. I don't hear from her at all. Like, usually would text about random throughout the day. She didn't text me at all on Monday. So, I come home, and I'm driving down towards the house to make the turn, and I see my house. And there's a moving truck. A moving truck in the driveway. So I pull up. I don't see hydrant, but her parents are there, and I was like, hello. Neither one of them said to me.
Like it's your fault?
What did I do? I said, hello, I just gotta. Okay. I walk inside. I would say 95% of her was already in the moving truck. So this was trying to leave the house
without
before
paying.
I got home.
And without paying, I'm assuming.
Didn't even give me a heads up, like, hey, I think I'm gonna head out. Like, nothing. I got nothing. This is what I came home to. I don't even know where she is. I just go straight to my room because I'm so off and I don't want to cause a scene in front of her parents. I go to my room, I call my mom, and I tell her what's happening. My mom's like, okay, that's so my mom comes to the house.
Ooh.
Her parents don't say to my mom.
She talking about you to her
My
parents.
mom comes in the room, and then Hydrant comes in my room, and I'm like, what the And she was like, I was gonna let you know. And my mom was like, when you already moved your out and left her to take care of everything?
Yeah. So if you needed any sort of advice on whether or not you should live with a friend, this is one story, but I have so many stories about roommates that I lived with that are like, it's weird how like people just forget how to communicate, like forget how to human. Like, why you gotta be weird? Why you gotta be a weird bitch about it? Like, how are you not embarrassed? How are you not embarrassed? The fact that her parents like weren't talking to you, she was for sure making up or talking about you. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. Obviously, this is one side of the story. I don't know. But like, she was totally talking about you to her parents. You were the enemy in their eyes for some reason. It is funny when you live with someone, you get to see like literally the worst parts about them. That's why it's like you never really know someone until you live with them. Because like when we're at home, we're kind of, you know, our mask is down, right? Like it's our like safe space. And, you know, we're stressed out from the day and stuff like that. And like, you know, our cleaning habits kind of come out and like all our weird quirks and stuff. And like some of the quirks are like, okay, like I can put up with that. And then other quirks are like, girl, you crazy, you nuts.
Well, I'm absolutely livid. My friend has just texted me, bombarded me with a series of text messages, and I need to let it out. Let me give you a bit of context. So it's been nice and hot and sunny this weekend, and like everybody in the UK, we have enjoyed the weather. Friday we had a barbecue. Saturday we went to the cricket club to watch my husband play cricket. We had ice cream, we had drinks, we had chocolate. I don't know what else we had. Sunday again, it was nice weather and we sat out in the garden and we had a little pizza picnic. We had drinks, we had ice cream. Now that was this weekend, that's just gone. Next week I'm on holiday, and next week is also my birthday. We haven't been able to go on holiday for 3 years, so this holiday is really, really meaningful to me. And because it's on my birthday as well, it's really special.
Stop making excuses for yourself.
This is what my friend has been saying to me yesterday and today. In fact, I'm going to get the text messages up and I'm going to write it down. Are you ready for this? You're going on holiday next week and it's your birthday. Should you really have been eating pizza and having ice cream at the weekend? Here are a few things that I think you should be doing this week to make up for it because you're on holiday next week. You shouldn't be eating any carbohydrates this week. You definitely need to be going on some extra runs. No chocolate, no ice cream.
I'm sorry, is this person your nutritionist or this is your friend? Because like, unless this person is someone who you've gone to for advice on how to lose weight, like you've gone to them and you've been like, oh God, I'm really not happy with myself. Like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, you know, they're trying to point out some of your habits. Even then, you know, like even then, it's like, just let people live, all right? I gain literally 5 pounds every time I go on holiday. Weight fluctuates. Like, what business is it of anyone else's if you gain weight?
Lower your usual calories and stick to that all week. You need to make up for what you had over the weekend and try and get some balance in before the holiday.
You don't need to do
week.
shit.
Where you can, skip meals because that will really help. Don't eat after 7 o'clock and only drink water. In fact, where you can, drink water when you feel hungry. We're meeting up Friday night for drinks for an early birthday for you. I don't think that you should be having anything other than water. We was meant to be having a meal, but I think that after this weekend and as you're on holiday next week, I think you should probably skip the meal. She goes on to say things like, I should be really careful what I eat over my birthday and that I should only have one slice of cake. And that while I'm on holiday, we should limit the times that we go out, and that I should always have the lower calorie option on the menu.
Who asked?
Me these extra running miles that I should be doing as well, an extra 24 miles this week. Now, how does hearing all of that make you feel? I know you don't know.
Throw the
me.
whole friend away.
How does that make you feel?
Throw her away.
When I'm telling you that somebody else has said those things to me, nasty things. Are the thoughts going through your head things like, she needs to get rid of that mate, that girl is not a friend to her? Because you'd be absolutely right. If somebody said those things to me, they weren't things to be saying to somebody. And actually, would you be saying those things out loud to somebody?
No.
I'm not sure you would, because they are horrible.
I mean, it's not even saying those things out loud. Because that implies like they could be thinking those things, and that's allowed. Why are you even thinking that about your friend? That's so ridiculous. Oh my God. Nobody asked. Nobody asked.
But I bet you're quite happy to say those things to yourself in your head after you've had a meal out, or after you've had a weekend away with the girls.
Oh, you got me.
Or after you've had a weekend away with your partner, or after you've had a takeaway. I'm sure there has been times in your life where you have told yourself, where you now have to restrict food, where you now have to eat where you now have to restrict carbs or cut out carbs completely, where you now can't have any chocolate, you can't have any pizza, you now have to over-exercise to make up for the weekend. If you wouldn't be happy hearing that stuff being said to you from a friend, why are you happy saying it to yourself? Just because
I'm not happy.
An ice cream or a barbecue or some extra calories over the weekend doesn't mean now you have to eat all this week. It doesn't now mean you have to run an extra 24 miles to make up for it. Just because you're going on holiday next week doesn't mean then you eat all this week. Next time you hear that voice in your head telling you one of those really things, stop and think, Would I say this to a friend, or would I let a friend say this to me? If the answer is no, then don't say it to yourself.
Okay, she got me. She got me. She got me. Was anybody else mad? And then was like, oh, you're right. I mean, the irony is that like a lot of friends actually treat us like crap and say really, really horrible things to us, and we do allow it. But I think that we all need to get a little better about our negative self-talk and treat ourselves like our best friend, especially when you got friends that you need to throw in the bin.